Dear ladies and gentlemen, friends, comrades, brothers and sisters, all Christians, believers and unbelievers. Hello, me, Anatoly Pastorev, have the honor to appeal to you because of very important, fundamental questions connected with the Bible theme, as now it is time to realize these questions truly and spiritually. In connection to this, my picture, Adam and Eve in Heaven, will be presented in this project, the truth of heaven as the main instrument for broad expressing of their plot. This picture, created by me, which got the second name, the Glorification of God, because of its plot and highly spiritual content, in fact, is the philosophical theological message to the Christian world. However, before I would like to pay your attention to the well-known fresco picture, The Fall by famous Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel. So, looking at this picture, we can compare its idea with the Bible story of infamous Ham, who, being so silly, mockingly told to his brothers about the nudity of their parent, which he occasionally saw insulting and snubbing the father's honor. As a result, instead of worthy and great parental blessedness, there was a deserved curse to the Ham's posterity from the insulted and offended father. In such a manner, aren't we assimilating Bible Ham altogether with the author of this fresco picture, The Fall, in which the intimate nudity of all mankind's forebears was displayed offhand as the author, because his inability to judge about spiritual things and think spiritually, and in fact because his simplicity and stupidity, similar to Ham's, used in his picture, showed the intimate nudity of Adam and Eve. And we, with a look of connoisseur and experts in the art of Renaissance era, come to stare shamelessly at this infamous thing. And that is why, if we really are wise children of Adam but not silly heirs of Bible Ham, and really understand what the God-sacred commandment, honor the father and the mother, mean, we cannot do this. And also, knowing that the God's commandment forbids people to show somehow the nudity of the father and the mother, will it be a glorious thing for us, in contradiction to God and against our parents' will, to the prejudice of the honor and dignity display the intimate nudity of the public? I don't think so. And you? So by what reason and why we do not just let to depict the intimate nudity of our forebears, Adam and Eve, in the way it looks in this fresco picture, The Fall by Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel, but also cultivate it?
Именно так, как это выглядит на этой фреске картине Микеланджело «Грехопадение Сикстинской капеллы». Тогда как, не в пример этому, именно моя картина «Величание Господа».
Meanwhile, contradicted to it, exactly my picture, The Glorification of God, which is offered to be discussed now, in comparison with the fresco picture, The Fall, comes in much more spiritually important side, as it does not contain any hint to any caddish or despectful attitude to the depicting of all mankind's forebears' image. Because in spiritual idea, the most important and great about Adam and Eve is not the fact that they were naked, but truly the most important and great is what was said about Adam by God. You are the stamp of perfectness, the fullness of wisdom, and the crown of beauty. You stayed in Eden, the God's garden. Your clothes were decorated by different precious gems. So in the center of all the universe there is the crown of the God's creation, perfect sovereign of Eden and all the earth Adam. As in this truly glorious image, Adam and Eve are displayed here as the image of future, exactly in the original time of their worthy being from the creation. Furthermore, glorious dark clothes of Adam and Eve, which can be seen here, show us their inner greatness and dignity of kindly sovereign of everything what they were put over by God. And the precious gems in this case symbolize good gifts, talents, which were given by the Lord to Adam. In other words, the highest qualities of his spirit. In this connection, we have to note particularly that this picture, by all its appearance and inner content, fully corresponds with what was said about Adam by the Holy Spirit in the Bible in prophet Ezekiel in the 28th chapter, in the image of Tyrian king. As absolutely perfect Adam, being the image and likeness of the God, has been great and glorious from the beginning, and the Lord himself called him anointed cherub.
Тогда как полное противоречие с этим все мировое
Whereas, in total contradiction to it, all Christian theology has been mistakenly thinking from the ancient times to our days that in the prophet Ezekiel, in the image of Tyrann king, it was said about the devil and Satan, that once he was a real angel of light and was in the kingdom of heaven. However, we have to say directly that the devil and Satan has never been the angel of light, and so he could never be in the kingdom of heaven. As in comparison to the real angels of light, he is a creature of different kind, different species, different spirit, different order. Because the devil and Satan, by his nature and notion, stays the same old serpent as he was from the beginning of his creation, and will be the same forever, even after he will be flung into the fiery and sulfuric lake. But to understand it fully, read the Bible and realize, as it has all the necessary evidence. And that is why I, appealing to all the sensible and religious Christians, will confirm and insist, based on the true facts from the Bible, that the great dragon, old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, has never been the angel of light. Only except those cases based on the Satan's ambition to glory himself, when he, to seduce everybody who sees him, turns into the unfamiliar and unnatural for him image of the angel of light. As craftily taking the image of the angel of light, the devil tempts all the world about himself. And even it is sadly to admit, but we know and understand it now, that he could do it in the fact that only proved in the truth people began to worship the devil and Satan as an ex-real angel of light, absolutely forgetting and paying no attention on the fact that he was manslayer from the beginning. And also the old serpent, as it can be seen in the picture, symbolizes not the former fame of the angel of light, but endless universal evil and nothing else. And in such a case, the simplest and the most important what we have to know about the devil is that he is a creature of the low order, proudly considered himself as the angel of light. The picture, the glorification of God, as a blessing symbol of the universe, was created to become a real expression of the great fame of God and a person. And moreover, the most important ideological and spiritual mission of this picture is to raise and glorify the God for all mankind in the worthiest and the most grateful way, as it has to become our common to all humanity expression of true and absolutely gratitude to the Lord from here to eternity. Because God has never had such love, unity, and such care for any other of His creations, but for a person from the very beginning of their creation against all the odds. So the picture, the glorification of God, truly has a special idea and a very high potential, which gives an opportunity for mankind to raise over their rather low in quality attitude to such serious and incredibly great spiritual things, which are directly connected with the necessary glorification of God as well as a person who is from the beginning of creation the reflection of God's fame. As for us, it will be a case of fame and honor, not so much for people as for God. So, on the assumption of the fact perfect Adam, the only one in his creation under the heaven, was created as the image and likeness of God, exactly this circumstance obliges us a lot. And that is why all the world determinedly united around this great idea. We, being the children of light, will be able, at least, to change thinking about canonical image of Adam and Eve, of not just living now people, but of all future generations in the worthiest way. As by glorifying Adam worthy, we praise and glorify God, who created Adam as God's image and likeness, because in no one else but in Adam the Lord has expressed the divine idea of Himself, and basing on it spiritually wise men said from all times, higher than ever him living, Adam.
Этого было сказано духовному премудрому.
In my view, this picture, the glorification of God, is unique in its ideological and outer beauty. It is necessary to give people of all the world an opportunity to connect its spiritual height, to see similar interpretation of the Bible history of the mankind, which has to be known by all the world. As it is not for nothing that Her Majesty Queen of Great Britain, Elizabeth II, gave a high mark to this picture. And the best way to achieve this aim will be a journey of this picture to different cities and countries of the world. As nobody in the world, up to these days, has been able to suggest anything like this in their paintings about Adam and Eve, where in such simple and clear shapes and images, the invisible and gorgeous spiritual world where they were was opened. And undoubtedly, this triumphant festivity of a specific sound of divine sphere, which we can see here, and also monumental grandeur of the composition, amazed spectators by a huge concentration of spiritual forces and heroic will of the author, because he could, without any looking and any authorities, rise above stereotype of the world and show the greatest understanding of what is depicted in his exclusive picture in comparison with all the rest, from the opinion of the honored artist of Russia, correspondent member of the Russian Academy of Arts, Professor Kluyev. And basing on it all, I, with a team of not different people, appeal to you, to all sincere and not indifferent people, and sure to each of 2.5 billion Christians in the world, with the invitation to give informational and financial support to this project, the Truth of Heaven. As to realize this project successfully, it is necessary to have enough financial and other opportunities. And that is why, doing it without your help and active support, it will be rather difficult. Herein, the non-material price of the great idea of the project is to stop, praise and raise the devil and Satan as supposedly ex-lightest angel in the kingdom of heaven, with all the great and glorious accomplishments which were belonged to Adam from the beginning and given to the devil and Satan not by his rank, his nature or merits, but because he illegally assigned them. As we have to do it to give an opportunity for the divine truth to triumph over people's deception. And by this precipitate this mistaken heretical theology about the devil and Satan as an ex-angel of light from human minds, and the theological legendary which was raised to the extent of Christian dogmatic theology, which for many of 2.5 billion Christians will be a perfect possibility to express themselves in front of God and all His holy angels in a worthy and glorious way, because by correcting the false notions to true ones, we will humble the devil, becoming free from his net of seduction, and as a result will achieve a great and glorious spiritual victory over him. As for Christians, it really will be a spiritual sacred fight for the reconstruction of the justice of heaven towards the constant fame of honor of the holy, as well as towards the kingdom of heaven, as by this unreasonable interpretation in the world the eternally unbreakable God's principle of the holy staying in the truth was definitely offended and distorted in a hideous way by the idea that holy angels in the kingdom of heaven once could sin. However, as well as God knows it, all His angels of light now too. And we have to know and understand it either, that the real holy, as defined, are not able to sin. And moreover, the holy truth of heaven is that the kingdom of heaven has never been separated among angels into kind and angry ones. As all these questions, although they did not stagger universal teachers and theologists in the world, anyway, they were actual 1,000 years ago, as well as they are actual in our days, and will be the same actual in 1,000 years, if we do not solve them today. Because who else will do it and when? If not, we will do it now, as it is our holy debt to the God and His truth to change finally false theological interpretations and notions into true ones. And such changes has to be done in Bible dictionaries, Bible encyclopedias, dogmatic theology and theological textbooks, and also in other different information sources. And of course, it should be discussed in councils of Christian Church.
соборах христианских церквей. И в заключение я хочу вам сказать, что ныне это и есть тот особый случай, когда следует непременно...
And in conclusion, I would like to tell you that now it is a special occasion when it is necessary to answer our appeal and support to come through this glorious course worthy together. It is, if we are those who we have to be, because depending on who will choose one or the other side, it means to be for or against. It will show our ability or inability to distinguish the good and the evil, and also which side we would like to be on and be there until the end, on the side of the God's truth or on the side of the devil's lie. And by this each of us will be fairly estimated and weighted. Because it was truly said by God, each tree is perceived by its fruit, and also everyone costs as much as what he or she bothers about costs.